What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast, and I don't usually do videos on Sundays, but I had a little bit of motivation today to get this information out because I just felt like it's important. I feel like on this channel, I like to put things out that I think are important, and I think today's going to be a surreal Sunday. We're going to talk about some realities that we're going to have to face at one point or another. And here, this is an article by Zero Hedge that said ending anonymity, why the World Economic Forum's partnership against cybercrime threatens the future of privacy. See that the article states here, with many focusing on the recent cyber polygon exercise, less attention has been paid to the World Economic Forum's real ambitions in cybersecurity, to create a global organization aimed at getting even the possibility of anonymity online. With the governments of the US, UK, and Israel on board, along with some of the world's most powerful corporations, it is important to pay attention to their end game. Okay? And so, amid a series of I'm not going to read all this, but I'm just going to go ahead and read this first part. Amid a series of warnings and simulations in the past year regarding a massive cyber attack that could soon bring down the global financial system, the information sharing group of the largest banks and private financial organizations in the US warned earlier this year that banks will encounter growing danger from converging nation-state and criminal hackers over the course of 2021 and the years that follow. Now, this is nothing new. This is something that has been warned about, and it's gaining traction in mainstream media. And we've seen real-life examples of this happening. We see the pipeline that shut off, basically 45% of all gas in the East Coast. We see the meat packaging industry. We also see that there has been some attacks on where the hackers are asking for Bitcoin. So we see that taking place, and it's everywhere. And you got to ask yourself, what's the end game? Well, the end game is to move over into a new financial system, something that's all digital, something that's on the ledger. And we talk about the XRP ledger. I just did a video on it yesterday in which we talk about that is what they're going to use to process all the payments. Okay? And I think that's important to keep in mind. Now, moving on, listen to this. Raoul Paul is a very smart man. And listen to what he says. And I mean, if you still haven't comprehended the power of the XRP ledger, it's basically going to handle all the money. And if you think about millions upon millions of transactions that are done, day over day, year over year, it's going to be able to scale and handle all those payments. Now, here, I'm going to play the video and take a listen.
I think the securities market will be attached to tokens, NFTs. I think we will find, all financial instruments will go that way because why? We can settle instantaneously. We can trade 24 hours a day. And it doesn't cost anything to do it. Right. So why the hell would you not? I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried's already doing this with FTX by tokenizing some equities. Yeah. We will see the tokenization of the asset management industry. That's all coming too. And it massively reduces the cost. Anybody who's ever set up a fund knows how painful it is. So this is changing, and there are whole platforms building these kind of businesses out. And this is not me pontificating on a Friday afternoon. This is me saying, I'm talking to all of these people, and this is all happening, and I'm involved personally. I think.
So, and honestly, you don't think he knows about XRP and the XRP ledger? He said he's bullish long-term on XRP, but just because of the lawsuit and stuff, he's just going to wait for that to pan out. But he knows, and he's a very smart guy. He understands where this is going. And if you want to talk about, the NFT market, if you want to talk about literally everything, the Flare network and what XRP are doing, and as well as a few other digital assets in this space, they're going to help with the protocol. The value is in the protocol, and it's something we talk about. However, you don't just switch over to a new financial system without a few bumps on the road. Here, Gator Trader is speaking some trumors here. He says, I think we can all agree there's a parallel financial system in place. You can argue the assets at the core, and that's fine. But you're not going to deploy a new financial system, then have a cyber attack. Hence the reset. New system is after. And I agree with this statement because you're not going to reset it before or have a new financial system and then reset it. That's why there's all these cyber attacks. That's why all this is happening. It's leading to the climax of the moment and the Great Reset. That's the whole point of it. If you have a Great Reset, is you're merging into something new. You're resetting the system. You're rebooting it. And I agree with this statement. So I do think there's gonna come a time. I don't know how. I don't know when. But there's gonna be a time, and it's gonna come where we're gonna reach a climax of a moment, and you're gonna see a shift that's gonna happen. And once that shift occurs, it's going to be done and over with, and it's going to be too late. It's going to have happened already. Okay, but this is where we're trending. And here, XRP King Doggo said this. He said, a lot of people in the community are promoting the Great Reset like it's a parade full of joy, but it's not. It's an event that is happening now, and they are trying to take your freedoms. And then he goes on and starts stating more of his opinion. But I think that ultimately, with central bank digital currencies, it's all leading towards more control. And that's the end game for the central banks. And we know they're not going away because these nations will bring out their guns and tanks before anything takes over. And if you want to participate in the economy, it's going to have to be through banks, central banks. It's going to happen. You're going to have to do it. They're not going away anytime soon. So I'm telling you, this is what it is. You may disagree, and you might say it's decentralized. We're going to be in control of this, and that. But at the end of the day, the gateways to the economy and to everything are the central banks. And if they're going to push, and they will have their central bank digital currencies, and if you want to participate, you're going to have to go through them. You might disagree with me, but time will tell. And so I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe, comment below. What are your thoughts? As always, I like hearing from you. This is Surreal Sundays, and I'll see you on the next episode.